The strongest man is the one who stays calm when everyone else loses control. Listen carefully. Life is not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond, or if you respond at all. The one who masters silence masters power. The one who refuses to be baited refuses to be broken. This audiobook is not about reacting. It's about training your mind to stay in command. Every word, every chapter, every lesson you're about to hear is designed to drill one truth into you. When you stop reacting, you start ruling your life. Now let's begin. Chapter 1. Stop being a puppet. You need to hear this truth clearly. Every time you react, you give away your power. Think about it. When someone insults you, when someone provokes you, when someone pushes your buttons and you explode, who's in control? Not you. You've just handed them the strings and now they're pulling you like a puppet. That's not strength. That's slavery. If they can make you react, they control you. Remember that line. Drill it into your head. Say it to yourself. If they can make me react, they control me. Most people live their entire lives as emotional puppets. They are controlled not by their own discipline, but by the opinions, words, and actions of others. One comment ruins their whole day. One glance throws off their whole mood. One rejection shatters their entire confidence. That's not freedom. That's weakness. And the problem is this. You've been conditioned to think it's normal. You've been conditioned to think that lashing out, defending your ego, and fighting back at every little provocation makes you strong. It doesn't. It proves how easily you can be manipulated. The world is full of people waiting to push your buttons. They do it for sport. They do it because they're weak themselves. They do it because they know they can. And if you keep reacting, you'll keep dancing for them. Let me give you a simple example. Your boss criticizes you. Not a gentle suggestion, but a sharp, public cut. Maybe he says you're lazy. Maybe he says you're incompetent. Immediately, your blood boils. Your face turns red. You feel the fire. Now, what happens if you react? You snap back. You argue. You storm out. Guess what? He wins. He's in control. Your anger doesn't damage him. It damages you. It damages your reputation. It damages your position. It damages your future. But imagine this instead. He insults you, and you stay calm. You breathe, you nod, you take the words in, but you don't let them own you. You refuse to react. Now, who looks stronger? Who has the power? That's the difference. Reacting is weakness. Calm is power. Here's what you need to understand. Reaction is predictable. And when you're predictable, you're controllable. Think about a chess game. If your opponent knows every move you're going to make, you'll lose every time. Life works the same way. If people know that insulting you will make you explode, if they know that ignoring you will make you desperate, if they know that criticizing you will make you break, then they own you. But the man who doesn't react, the man who doesn't dance to anyone's tune, he can't be controlled. He can't be predicted. He can't be broken. You have to rewire your mind to see provocation for what it really is, a trap. It doesn't matter if it's a stranger cutting you off in traffic. It doesn't matter if it's a coworker spreading gossip. It doesn't matter if it's family pressing your buttons. It's all bait. And the moment you bite, you're hooked. But if you refuse the bait, if you see it and let it pass, you stay free. If they can make you react, they control you. If they can't, they lose. So what do? How do you break free from being a puppet? Here's the process. Step 1. Awareness. Start noticing your triggers. Who gets under your skin? What words make your blood boil? What situations make you lose control? Until you know your strings, you'll keep getting pulled. Step 2. Pause. The moment you feel that spark of anger, stop. Breathe. Give yourself space. A reaction is instant. A response is chosen. Your pause creates freedom. Step 3. Detach. Ask yourself, does this even matter? Does this define me? Or is this just bait? 9 times out of 10, it's bait. And when you see it as bait, you don't take it. Step 4. Redirect. Take the energy you would have wasted in reaction and invest it into action. Instead of snapping at your boss, improve your work. Instead of fighting with a troll, build your skills. Instead of wasting energy on anger, fuel your progress. That's how you stop being a puppet. That's how you cut the strings. Understand this. Reacting is easy. Controlling yourself is hard. And that's why most people will always be weak. They want the release. They want the ego defense. They want the drama. But you don't need drama. You need discipline. You don't need to prove yourself with anger. You prove yourself with restraint. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. You don't need their permission. You only need control over yourself. That's the key. Picture two men in a conflict. One shouts, rages, throws his arms, demands attention. The other stands still, calm, unshaken. Who looks stronger? Who looks like the leader? It's not the loud one. It's the calm one. Because here's the paradox. When you don't react, you're not empty. You're full of control, full of power, full of discipline. The loud one screams to cover his weakness. The calm one doesn't need to prove anything. That's why people follow the calm. That's why leaders rise above the noise. This is the discipline you must drill into yourself. Every time you feel the fire rising, every time your strings are pulled, remind your Chapter 2. Anger is weakness in disguise. You've been lied to. You've been told that anger makes you strong, that raising your voice proves dominance, that slamming your fist shows courage, that exploding in rage means you're powerful. It's all a lie. The truth is simple. Anger is weakness in disguise. Read that again. Say it out loud. Anger is weakness in disguise. Think about the times you've lost your temper. Did you feel strong afterwards? Did you feel proud? Or did you feel drained, embarrassed, ashamed? Anger doesn't build you. Anger breaks you. Look at the people who can't control their tempers. They destroy relationships. They lose jobs. They ruin opportunities. They regret the words they can't take back. They spend years cleaning up the damage of a 5-second outburst. That's not strength. That's failure. Calm is power. Rage is weakness. Picture a soldier. One is disciplined, steady, focused. The other is raging, screaming, swinging wildly. Who survives the battle? The disciplined one, the calm one, the one who doesn't lose control. Now picture yourself. Life is a battlefield. Every day you face stress, insult, unfairness, resistance. If you fight with anger, you burn out fast. But if you fight with calm, you last. You win. You control the field. Here's the trap. Society glorifies anger. Movies show heroes screaming, flipping tables, fighting back in rage. Social media rewards outrage. Even your friends may tell you, don't let them disrespect you. Show them you're angry. But that's not showing strength. That's showing you can be manipulated. That's showing the other person exactly where your weakness is. If they can make you angry, they own you. That's the line. Remember it. Drill it into your mind. If they can make me angry, they own me. History is full of lessons. Leaders who lost control lost empires. Athletes who lost their temper lost championships. Businessmen who lost composure lost fortunes. One outburst can undo decades of discipline. One flash of anger can wipe out years of hard work. And for what? For your pride? For your ego? For the momentary satisfaction of getting it off your chest? That's not worth it. That's self-destruction. Listen carefully. Anger is easy. Discipline is hard. Anyone can yell. Anyone can curse. Anyone can slam a door. But to sit there, calm, still, unshaken while the storm rages around you, that takes strength. That takes training. That takes mastery. It's not about your ego. It's about your discipline. It's not about exploding. It's about enduring. It's not about proving yourself. It's about controlling yourself. So how do you defeat anger? How do you stop letting it own you? Here's the system. Step 1. Recognize it early. Anger doesn't explode out of nowhere. It builds. You feel it rising. Your chest tightens. Your face heats. Your breath shortens. That's your signal. Catch it. Don't wait until it owns you. Step 2. Breathe and pause. Anger thrives on speed. It wants you to snap, to react, to lash out. Break the cycle with your breath. Inhale deep, hold, exhale slow. Do it again. That's control. Step 3. Ask the question. Will this anger make me stronger or weaker? Will it solve the problem or create new ones? Almost always the answer is clear. Anger weakens you. Anger creates more problems. That clarity breaks the spell. Step 4. Redirect. Channel the fire into fuel. Instead of yelling at your boss, prove them wrong with results. Instead of fighting your partner, build yourself so strong they can't shake you. Instead of exploding at strangers, use the energy to sharpen your craft. That's how anger becomes power. Not by exploding, but by transforming. Understand this. People respect control. Nobody respects the hothead. Nobody follows the man who can't master himself. But everyone notices the calm one, the still one, the one who doesn't break under pressure. That's why the calm man gets the promotion. That's why the calm man wins the negotiation. That's why the calm man leads, not because he's louder, not because he's angrier, but because he refuses to be shaken. You may think, but what if people mistake my calm for weakness? Let them underestimate you. That's your advantage. While they burn themselves out in rage, you conserve your energy. While they scream, you think. While they fight recklessly, you strike with precision. Calm is not passive. Calm is active. Calm is not weakness. Calm is the highest form of strength. Look at the people you admire, the leaders, the mentors, the champions. Do they lose their tempers often? Or are they calm, measured, unshakable? That's not an accident. That's a skill. That's training. That's power. If you want respect, earn it by control. If you want influence, command it by calm. If you want strength, show it through discipline, because anger will always betray you. Calm will always protect you. Let's drill it one more time. Say it with me. Calm is power. Rage is weakness. If they can make you angry, they own you. Anger is weakness in disguise. Repeat it until it becomes part of you. Repeat it until anger has no grip on you. Repeat it until your calm becomes unbreakable. Because this is the truth. The world is full of men who burn out in anger. But the rare man, the disciplined man, the one who never lets anger own him, that man becomes unstoppable. Chapter 3. Silence wins more battles than words. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. Silence is not cowardice. Silence is strategy. Silence is control. Silence is power. Most people don't understand this. They believe they always need to speak, to defend, to argue, to explain. They think words win battles. But the truth is the opposite. Words are often wasted, and silence is what wins. Think about the last argument you had. Did talking make it better? Or did every word add fuel to the fire? When you argue with someone who is already emotional, your words don't persuade them. They provoke them. They escalate. They make the conflict worse. But silence? Silence ends it. Silence kills the fire because there's nothing left to burn. If they want a fight, your silence denies it. If they want attention, your silence starves it. If they want control, your silence blocks it. You need to hear this clearly. Not every attack deserves an answer. Not every insult deserves a defense. Not every question deserves a response. In fact, the fastest way to lose power is to always explain yourself. The fastest way to waste energy is to always defend yourself. The fastest way to show weakness is to always take the bait. Strong people don't explain. Strong people don't justify. Strong people don't chase arguments. Strong people stay silent. Silence creates mystery. Silence creates doubt in your opponent. Silence makes people question themselves. Picture this. Someone insults you in front of others. They expect you to snap back, to defend your pride, to prove them wrong. But instead, you stay calm. You say nothing. You let the silence hang. Who looks stronger? You do. Who looks smaller? They do. Because silence is uncomfortable. People rush to fill it. They over-explain. They reveal too much. They expose their own weakness. The man who can sit in silence always has the upper hand. Here's the problem. You've been programmed to believe silence equals weakness. You've been taught that if you don't clap back, if you don't respond, if you don't fight, you're losing. That's wrong. Fools fight with words. The wise fight with silence. It's not about being passive. It's about being in control. You're not silent because you're scared. You're silent because you've chosen not to waste your power. Silence is not losing. It's winning by refusing to play. Now let's get practical. How do you use silence as a weapon? Step 1. Pause before speaking. Don't rush to respond. Let there be space. Count to 3. Breathe. That pause alone shows control. Step 2. Hold your tongue in conflict. The next time someone tries to provoke you, resist the urge to reply. Stay calm. Look them in the eye. Say nothing. Watch how uncomfortable they get. Step 3. Use silence as a filter. In conversations, let others speak more than you. People reveal everything when you give them space. The one who talks least learns the most. Step 4. Train silence daily. Don't always fill the room with chatter. Practice being quiet. Practice observing. Practice listening. Silence sharpens your awareness. Think about negotiations. The person who speaks less usually wins. Why? Because silence pressures the other side to reveal their position, to fill the gap, to give away more than they should. Think about relationships. Constant arguments destroy them. But silence during heated moments gives space for emotions to cool. Think about leadership. A leader who speaks sparingly is respected more. Why? Because their words carry weight. Silence makes every word more valuable. When you are silent, you are never desperate. When you are silent, you are always in control. Here's the truth. People who talk too much leak power. Every word is a leak. Every explanation is a leak. Every argument is a leak. But people who know when to stay silent, they conserve their energy, they keep their position. They stay strong. That's the key. Conserve, don't leak. Hold, don't spill. Stay calm, don't react. Now let me be clear. Silence doesn't mean you never speak. Silence means you choose your words like weapons. You don't waste them. You don't swing wildly. You wait. You aim. You strike with precision. A sword swung recklessly is useless. A sword drawn only when needed is deadly. Words are the same, so stay silent most of the time. And when you speak, people listen. Because your silence gave your words weight. Let's drill it in. Silence is not surrender. Silence is strategy. Silence is not weakness. Silence is control. Silence wins more battles than words. Say it, repeat it. Make it a rule. Because the world is full of noise. Everyone is talking, shouting, posting, arguing, fighting to be heard. Don't join them. Rise above them. Be the one who doesn't need noise. Be the one who doesn't need validation. Be the one who doesn't need to argue. That's how you stand out. That's how you hold power. That's how you win. So remember this. When someone tries to provoke you, don't take the bait. Stay silent. When someone insults you, don't explain. Stay silent. When someone demands a reaction, deny it with silence. Silence is your weapon. Silence is your shield. Silence is your victory. You've mastered silence. You've learned the discipline of not wasting words, not wasting energy, not taking the bait. But the world doesn't stop at words. The world is filled with deeper traps. Traps designed to pull you into endless cycles of reaction. If you want true control, you must see those traps clearly. Chapter 4. Emotional traps are everywhere. The world is not neutral. The world is not designed for your peace. The world is full of traps, emotional traps, set to make you react, and if you don't see them, you'll walk right into them. Over and over again. That's why you must train your eyes. You must learn to see what others don't see. You must learn to recognize the bait before it hooks you. Everywhere you look, someone is trying to pull your strings. Social media is a trap. It's built to provoke you. Outrage spreads faster than truth. Insults spread faster than wisdom. The algorithm feeds you content designed to make you react. Angry, jealous, triggered, addicted. The more you react, the more you click. The more you click, the more they profit. Politics is a trap. Politicians survive by dividing you, by inflaming you, by making you hate the other side. They don't care about your peace. They care about your reaction. Your anger is their fuel. Gossip is a trap. People spread it not to inform you, but to pull you into drama. They want to hook you, pull you down, make you waste your energy on battles that aren't even yours. And every trap works the same way. It demands your reaction. You need to engrave this truth into your mind. Every trap begins with bait. The bait could be an insult. The bait could be a rumor. The bait could be a comment online. The bait could be a headline. The bait could even be a tone of voice. And the moment you react, you're caught. Just like a fish biting the hook, you're stuck. But here's the good news. You don't have to bite. You can see the bait. You can walk past it. You can let it dangle in front of you and smile because you know the game. Let's get practical. How do you spot the traps? Step 1, slow down. Traps only work when you're moving fast. They rely on impulse. So when you feel provoked, pause, breathe, look around. Ask yourself, is this bait? Step 2, check the source. Who benefits if I react? If I get angry at this post, who wins? If I argue with this troll, who gets attention? If I fight over this gossip, who feeds on the drama? When you know the source, you see the trap. Step 3, refuse to play. Say it out loud. Not my game. Not my fight. Not my trap. That's your shield. Walk away. Ignore it. Refuse to give it your energy. Here's the key. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every fight is even real. Some are illusions. Some are distractions. Some are traps. The man who fights every battle loses his energy. The man who avoids the trap saves his strength for the real war. That's the difference between weak men and strong men. Weak men fight over everything. Strong men fight only when it matters. Think about your own life. How many hours have you wasted reacting to nonsense? Arguing online, fighting over opinions, defending yourself against gossip. All of it is wasted energy. Energy that could have built your body. Energy that could have built your business. Energy that could have built your future, but you gave it away. You stepped into the trap. You bit the bait. That ends now. Let me make it clear. You have a choice. You can keep reacting to every trap the world throws at you. Or you can train yourself to see the bait and walk away. You don't need their permission to ignore them. You don't need their approval to stay calm. You don't need their validation to protect your peace. That's the key. Protect your peace. Protect your focus. Protect your energy, because every trap you avoid makes you stronger. Every trap you ignore builds your power. Every trap you walk past adds to your freedom. Now listen carefully. The bait will never stop. There will always be noise. There will always be insults. There will always be lies, gossip, headlines, provocations, but you are not obligated to react. You are not obligated to defend yourself. You are not obligated to fight every battle. You are obligated only to your discipline. That's the rule. That's the standard. That's the path to power. Let's drill it in. Repeat after me. Every trap begins with bait. If I don't bite, I don't get caught. The strongest man is the one who walks past the trap. Say it again until it sticks. Say it until your instinct changes. Say it until ignoring the bait becomes automatic, because once it does, you're free. Free from the noise. Free from the drama. Free from the traps that keep other people enslaved. And here's the ultimate truth. The world will always test you. It will test your patience. It will test your pride. It will test your ego. But the test is simple. Will you react, or will you remain in control? Choose control. Every time you've learned the truth, emotional traps are everywhere. And you've learned the strategy, don't take the bait. Walk past it. Refuse to react, but now it's time to go deeper. Because if you want total control over your emotions, you must start at the foundation. And the foundation is not your thoughts. It's your breath. Chapter 5. Control your breath. Control, your mind control, starts with the smallest thing. Not with your job, not with your family, not with your money. It starts with your breath. You think control is mental. You think control is all about willpower. But here's the truth. Your body drives your mind. When your body is in chaos, your mind is in chaos. When your breath is shallow, your thoughts are shallow. When your breath is fast, your emotions are fast. But when your breath is calm, your mind becomes calm. When your breath is deep, your thoughts are deep. When your breath is steady, your emotions become steady. That's the key. Control your breath. Control your mind. Think about the last time you exploded. What happened first? Your breath shortened. Your chest tightened. Your face heated up. You weren't breathing slow, you were gasping fast. That's the body hijacking the mind. Now think about the last time you were completely calm. Your breath was steady. You weren't rushing. You weren't gasping. You were in rhythm. That rhythm gave you control. So if you want control in the moment, control in conflict, control under pressure, you don't start with your thoughts. You start with your breath. This isn't theory. This is biology. Your nervous system is wired to respond to your breathing. Shallow, fast breathing tells your body, panic. Long, slow breathing tells your body, calm. So every time you face a trigger, every insult, every argument, every test, you have a choice. You can let your breath speed up and lose control, or you can slow your breath down and stay in command. Breathe first, decide second. That's the formula. Let's break it down into practice. Step 1. Awareness. Most people don't notice their breath. Start noticing yours. In moments of stress, catch it. Are you holding your breath? Are you panting shallow? Awareness is the first layer of control. Step 2. Inhale deep. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Fill your lungs. Count to 4. Step 3. Hold. Pause at the top. Just 2 seconds. That pause is where your mind catches up. Step 4. Exhale slower than you inhaled. Out through your mouth. Count to 6. Longer out than in. That's what triggers calm. Do this once. Do it twice. Do it 3 times. And watch your body shift. Watch your anger drop. Watch your mind clear. That's the drill. That's the weapon. You might think, breathing? That sounds too simple. But simplicity is power. The strongest systems are the simplest. A man who can control his breath can control his state. A man who can control his state can control his actions. And a man who controls his actions controls his life. It all starts with air. It all starts with rhythm. It all starts with discipline. Imagine this scenario. You're in a meeting. Someone attacks your idea. Everyone turns to watch your reaction. Your heart starts racing. Your ego wants to snap back. But instead, you breathe. Inhale, hold, exhale. Calm floods your system. You look steady. You sound steady. You win the room, or picture yourself in traffic. Someone cuts you off. Horns blaring. Your anger flares. But instead of screaming, you breathe. Inhale, hold, exhale. Calm. You drive on. You protect your peace. The same formula applies everywhere. Breathe first, decide second. Here's the secret. The world reacts fast. Everyone else is impulsive. Everyone else is short of breath. Everyone else is trapped by their own physiology, but not you. You're training. You're learning to master the system. You're rewiring your body so your mind stays untouchable. That's why when others lose control, you stay calm. That's why when others snap, you hold steady. That's why when others regret, you stand proud, because you trained your breath. And through your breath, you mastered your mind. Let's drill it in. Say it with me. Breathe first, decide second. Control your breath, control your mind. Control your mind. Control your life. Repeat it until it becomes automatic. Repeat it until it becomes your instinct. Repeat it until no one can break your rhythm. Now let me push you harder. It's not enough to breathe only in calm moments. You must train your breath in stress. That's where mastery happens. Do it during workouts. Do it when your heart is racing. Do it when the pressure is high. Breathe slow even when everything in you screams to breathe fast. That's training. That's discipline. That's control. And the more you do it, the less the world can touch you, the less anger can own you, the less fear can shake you, because your breath is your anchor, and no storm can move an anchor that's planted deep. So remember this: control is not abstract. Control is not theory. Control is physical. Control begins with breath. If you master your breath, you master your body. If you master your body, you master your emotions. And if you master your emotions, you master your life. That's the chain. That's the truth. That's the key. You've learned how to breathe with discipline. You've discovered the foundation of calm. You've unlocked the tool that makes every other strategy possible. But there's another weapon waiting for you. A weapon just as powerful. A weapon that frees you from taking everything personally. It's called detachment. Chapter 6. Detachment is your weapon. The strongest warriors don't fight every battle. They don't swing at every insult. They don't bleed for every opinion. They detach. Detachment is not weakness. Detachment is not apathy. Detachment is power. Detachment is freedom. You lose control when you take everything personally. You gain control when you detach. That's the weapon. Think about this. Someone criticizes you. Your old self reacts. You feel attacked. You explode. But here's the truth. You just gave them your strings. You just let them pull you like a puppet. But when you detach, you cut the strings. Their words don't own you. Their tone doesn't own you. Their judgment doesn't own you. If they can make you react, they control you. But if you stay detached, you control you. That's the key. Let's go deeper. What does detachment look like in practice? It looks like walking away from a pointless argument. It looks like not defending yourself against every small attack. It looks like listening, nodding, and moving on without giving energy to nonsense. Detachment is discipline. Detachment is saying, I know who I am. I don't need to prove it to you. Here's the mistake people make. They confuse detachment with not caring. That's wrong. You still care about your mission. You still care about your values. You still care about your growth. But you don't care about every jab. You don't care about every comment. You don't care about every petty opinion. Detachment means you protect your energy. You invest it where it matters. You refuse to waste it where it doesn't. That's not apathy. That's intelligence. That's discipline. Picture this. You're in traffic. Someone cuts you off. Your old self yells, honks, rages. But what did that do? Nothing. The other driver doesn't even hear you. You only poisoned your own mood. Now imagine the detached self. Someone cuts you off. You breathe. You let it go. You keep driving. No wasted energy. No wasted time. You stayed in control. That's detachment as a weapon. Or think about your workplace. A colleague tries to undermine you. The insecure self reacts instantly, defends, argues, escalates. But the detached self? The detached self sees the move, recognizes the insecurity, and doesn't give it energy. They stay cool. They play the long game. The detached one wins, every time. Here's the secret. Detachment is strength disguised as stillness. It's the refusal to get dragged into small games. It's the power to step back and keep your eyes on the real war, not every small battle. Everyone wants to hook you. Everyone wants to provoke you. Everyone wants to drag you into their drama. But if you detach, you don't get hooked. You don't get dragged. You rise above it. That's how you stay untouchable. Repeat this with me. Detach from the nonsense. Detach from the bait. Detach from the drama. You don't need to swing at every pitch. You don't need to chase every insult. You don't need to prove yourself to every stranger. Your mission is bigger. Your time is more valuable. Your energy is sacred. That's why you detach. Let me give you a formula. It's simple. Pause, detach, decide. When provoked, pause. Don't react, don't move. Just freeze for 1 second, then detach. Remind yourself, this is not about me. This is not worth me. Then decide. Choose the calm, the strong, the strategic response. That's how you keep control. Here's a drill for you. For the next 24 hours, don't defend yourself against small things. Don't explain yourself when it's not necessary. Don't chase every insult. Practice silence. Practice walking away. Practice detachment. At first, it feels unnatural. At first, your ego screams to fight. But the more you practice, the more you realize the fight was never worth it. The ego was just trying to waste your energy. That's why detachment is the weapon that saves your power. Now hear this clearly. Detachment doesn't make you cold. Detachment makes you free. Detachment doesn't make you empty. Detachment makes you strong. You're not here to live as a puppet. You're not here to bleed for every opinion. You're here to master yourself. You're here to build discipline. You're here to control your life, and control demands detachment. So repeat the truth until it's burned into you. If they can make me react, they control me. If I detach, I control me. Detachment is my weapon. Say it until it becomes instinct. Say it until nothing hooks you. Say it until you walk through chaos untouched. This is the next stage of your power. You've learned to stop being a puppet. You've learned to breathe with discipline, and now you've armed yourself with detachment. But there's one more layer you must master. One more step to protect your peace. It's not just about ignoring others. It's about mastering yourself at the deepest level. Because the biggest enemy is not the outside world. The biggest enemy is your own impulses. It's time to face that enemy. Chapter 7. Master the first impulse. Your first impulse is the enemy. Your first impulse is the trap. Your first impulse is the raw, emotional, undisciplined part of you that wants to react before you think. You cannot control your life until you control your impulses. That's the law. That's the discipline. That's the line between weakness and strength. Think about it. Someone insults you. The first impulse? Snap back. Someone disrespects you. The first impulse? Attack. Someone ignores you. The first impulse? Demand attention. But the first impulse is almost always wrong. Why? Because it's emotion. It's fear. It's ego. It's reaction. If you let the first impulse run your life, you're not living. You're being controlled. You're on autopilot. And autopilot is slavery. But when you master the first impulse, you win freedom. Listen carefully. Control is not about never feeling. Control is about never letting the feeling drive the action. That's the difference. You can feel anger. You can feel fear. You can feel hurt. But you don't move until discipline decides, not emotion. You pause. You breathe. You detach. And then you choose. That's how you break the chains of the first impulse. Here's the truth. Most regrets in your life came from acting on the first impulse. The argument you shouldn't have started. The message you shouldn't have sent. The decision you made in anger. Look back. You'll see it. The moments you regret most? They weren't thought through. They were instant. They were impulsive. Now flip it. The moments you're proudest of? The times you showed restraint. The times you didn't bite. The times you rose above. That's not coincidence. That's the formula. Repeat this phrase until it sinks in. Feel the impulse. Pause, then act with discipline. Impulse is normal. Impulse is human. But mastery is refusing to bow to it. Mastery is making impulse wait until discipline speaks. That's the key. Here's a drill. The next time you feel the urge to react instantly, don't. Don't speak. Don't move. Don't decide. Pause. 3 seconds. Just 3. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. You'll notice something. The fire drops. The storm calms. The first impulse weakens. Now discipline has space to step in. Now wisdom has space to speak. Now you can respond with control, not reaction. That's how you win battles before they even start. Picture this. A coworker undermines you in a meeting. The impulse? Attack him. Correct him on the spot. Embarrass him back. But you pause. You breathe. You master the first impulse. Instead of blowing up, you wait, you plan. You bring facts later, calmly, decisively. Who wins? You do, not the impulse. Or imagine your partner snaps at you after a long day. The impulse? Snap back louder. But you don't. You pause. You master the impulse. You listen. You stay calm. Suddenly the argument dies before it begins. Who wins? You do, not the impulse. This is real power. Now let me warn you. The first impulse will never go away. You can't kill it. It's part of you, but you can dominate it. You can make it your servant, not your master. Think of it like this. The first impulse is a barking dog. It barks at everything, loud, wild, unthinking. If you follow the barking dog, you'll run in circles. But if you control the dog, if you hold the leash, you stay in command. You decide where to walk. That leash is discipline. Repeat after me. I am not my first impulse. I pause before I act. Discipline decides, not emotion. Say it again, louder. Drill it into your mind until it becomes instinct, because in the heat of the moment, you won't rise to your expectations. You'll fall to your training. And your training is this: pause, breathe, decide. Here's another drill. For the next 7 days, practice this rule. No instant replies. Someone texts you something that triggers you, don't answer immediately. Someone says something that cuts, don't snap back instantly. Even in small things, force the pause. You'll be shocked at how many fires die out on their own. You'll be shocked at how much stronger you feel when you wait. This is impulse mastery in action. Understand this. The world is designed to trigger your impulses. Social media, advertising, gossip, outrage, it's all a trap. They want you to react instantly. They want your attention, your anger, your clicks. But when you master the first impulse, you're untouchable. You don't take the bait. You don't chase every noise. You don't spend your life in reaction. You stay in command. You stay in discipline. You stay free. So here's the bottom line. Weak people act on impulse. Strong people act on discipline. Impulse is slavery. Discipline is freedom. Impulse is noise. Discipline is signal. Impulse is chaos. Discipline is control. Which one do you want to live by? Which one will define you? The answer is your choice. The choice you make every single time you feel the fire rise inside you. Feel it. Pause. Then let discipline lead. That's mastery. That's strength. That's freedom. Now listen closely. You've learned to master your first impulse. You've gained a new level of control. But there's still one thing you must guard against. It's not just about what you do in the heat of the moment. It's about what drains you every single day. The hidden leak that weakens your power without you even realizing it. It's called overreaction. And if you don't fix it, you'll lose your energy, your focus, your life. Let's fix it now. Chapter 8. Stop wasting energy on overreaction. Energy is your most valuable currency. Not money. Not time. Energy. Because without energy, you can't use time. Without energy, you can't make money. Without energy, you can't live at your highest level. But here's the trap. Most people waste their energy on overreaction. They spend it on small things. They blow up over nothing. They burn out over nonsense. And when the real battles come, they're already empty. That's weakness. That's waste. That's self-destruction. Think about it. Someone looks at you funny. You waste energy. Someone disagrees with you. You waste energy. Someone posts something online. You waste energy. Day after day, drip after drip, you give away your power to things that don't matter. And here's the brutal truth. The problem isn't them. The problem is you. You chose to overreact. You chose to give your energy to garbage. That's the addiction you must break. Repeat this with me. Not everything deserves my energy. Not everything deserves my reaction. Not everything deserves my power. Drill it until it's your code. Because if you don't guard your energy, the world will drain it. Here's a test. Look back at your week. How many times did you overreact? How many times did you waste your peace on something small? A driver, a comment, a tone of voice, a mistake. Now ask yourself, did it change anything? Did it fix anything? Did it make your life better? No, it just left you weaker. That's the price of overreaction. Now imagine if you stopped. Imagine if you ignored 90% of the small stuff. Imagine how much calmer you'd feel. Imagine how much more energy you'd have for your goals, your growth, your mission. That's the power of conservation. That's the power of discipline. You don't waste energy on the noise. You save it for the signal. Here's the rule. Respond proportionally. Don't use a sledgehammer on a mosquito. Don't burn your house down to kill a fly. Don't let tiny issues eat up giant reserves of your energy. If it's small, treat it small. If it's nothing, treat it as nothing. That's strength. That's maturity. That's control. Let's make it practical. Scenario 1. Your friend cancels plans last minute. Overreaction, anger, drama, resentment. Result, broken friendship, wasted night, controlled reaction. Shrug, move on, use the time productively. Result, peace kept, energy saved. Scenario 2. A coworker makes a mistake. Overreaction, blow up, embarrass them, poison the relationship. Result, tension, stress, lost trust, controlled reaction. Address it calmly, fix the mistake, move forward. Result, problem solved, energy conserved. See the difference? Same trigger, different outcome. One drains you, one strengthens you. Now let's drill it in. Every time you feel the fire rise, ask, Is this worth my energy? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. 9 times out of 10, the smart move is silence. 9 times out of 10, the strong move is detachment. The strongest man isn't the one who reacts to everything. The strongest man is the one who saves his strength for the battles that matter. That's wisdom. That's control. Here's a practice for you. Starting tomorrow, rate every trigger on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 is small, meaningless. 10 is life-changing, mission critical. If it's a 1, ignore it. If it's a 2, ignore it. If it's a 3, ignore it. Anything below a 7, let it go. Don't waste energy. Don't waste time. Don't waste yourself. Only fight battles that matter. Only invest energy where it counts. That's how you protect your power. Understand this. Energy wasted on overreaction is energy stolen from your future. Every argument you didn't need. Every fight you didn't need. Every stress you didn't need. They all steal from your ability to win tomorrow. Stop donating your future to nonsense. Stop draining yourself on things that don't matter. Discipline is the filter. Say this with me until it sticks. My energy is sacred. I won't waste it on small things. I'll save it for what matters. That's your code now. That's your weapon. That's your freedom. So remember, control isn't about never reacting. It's about choosing when to react. It's about matching your energy to the size of the problem. It's about never wasting your fire on sparks. The world will keep trying to provoke you. The world will keep throwing small hooks, but you're done taking the bait. You're done overreacting. You're done wasting yourself. Now you move with discipline. Now you respond with power. Now you protect your energy like the rare currency it is. This is mastery. This is strength. This is how you stay calm when everyone else burns themselves out. And when you stop wasting energy on overreaction, you unlock the space to build something greater. Your discipline of silence. Because sometimes the strongest move is not saying a single word. Chapter 9. The discipline of silence. Silence is power. Silence is control. Silence is strategy. Most people waste their power by talking too much. They explain. They justify. They argue. They defend. They reveal their every thought, their every fear, their every weakness. But the disciplined man knows this. The more you speak, the more you give away. The less you speak, the more control you keep. That's the discipline of silence. Think about it. When you argue with someone who doesn't matter, you waste your energy. When you defend yourself to people who don't care, you waste your time. When you blurt out your feelings without control, you give them ammunition. Silence prevents all of that. Silence protects you. Silence keeps your enemies guessing and your allies respecting, because silence is not emptiness. Silence is strength. Let me give you a hard truth. You don't need to prove yourself with words. You prove yourself with actions. When you're silent, your work speaks louder. When you're silent, your results speak louder. When you're silent, your presence speaks louder. That's the real flex. Not noise, not arguments. Results, discipline, silence. Repeat this. Silence cannot be misquoted. Silence cannot be twisted. Silence cannot be used against you. That's the shield. That's the protection. That's the power. Now think about this. How many times have you said something in anger only to regret it later? How many times have you revealed too much only to have it thrown back in your face? Words can't be taken back. Once they're out, they're weapons. Sometimes against others, but often against yourself. But silence leaves no trace. Silence leaves no regret. Silence leaves no weakness. That's why discipline demands silence. Here's how silence works as a weapon. Scenario 1. Someone insults you. They want you to explode. They want to see you crack. You say nothing. You breathe. You smile, they lose. Silence wins. Scenario 2. Someone pressures you for answers. They push. They demand. You pause. You say less than they expect. You keep them waiting. Who has the power now? You do. Silence does. Scenario 3. In conflict, when everyone is shouting, you're the calm one. You're the quiet one. Suddenly, your presence is louder than their noise. Everyone notices. That's silence in action. The discipline of silence is not about never speaking. It's about speaking with intention. It's about using words like a blade, sharp, precise, controlled. not swinging wildly, not wasting motion. Most people talk to fill the air. The disciplined man talks to create impact. Every word chosen, every word measured, every word necessary. That's why when he speaks, people listen, because silence has made his words valuable. Let me give you the formula. Pause, measure, speak less. Pause before you respond. Don't rush, don't blurt, don't give them your first impulse. Measure your words. Ask, does this need to be said? Does this serve my mission? Speak less. Cut the fluff. Leave space. Let silence do the work. That's the practice. That's the mastery. Here's a drill for you. For the next 48 hours, cut your words in half. In conversations, speak less. At work, let others talk more. In conflict, pause longer than usual before you respond. Watch what happens. People start leaning in. People start paying attention. People start respecting your words because they're rare. And you'll feel stronger. Because you'll realize silence doesn't weaken you. Silence empowers you, but there's another level. Silence is not just external. Silence is internal. Your mind is noisy. Constant chatter, doubts, worries, what-ifs. That inner noise drains you more than anything else. Discipline of silence also means calming the mind, breathing, centering, quieting the storm inside so you can move with clarity. The quieter your mind, the sharper your decisions. The quieter your mind, the stronger your presence. That's why silence isn't just a tactic. Silence is a lifestyle. Repeat this until it becomes your code. I don't waste words. I don't defend myself to fools. My silence is my strength. That's how you build authority. That's how you command respect. That's how you stay untouchable. Here's the bottom line. Weak men react with noise. Strong men respond with silence. Weak men try to prove themselves with words. Strong men prove themselves with discipline. The world is loud. Everyone is shouting. Everyone is arguing. Everyone is desperate to be heard. But the disciplined man doesn't compete in the noise. He rises above it with silence. And in a loud world, silence is the loudest signal of all. So remember this. Silence is not the absence of power. Silence is the presence of power. Silence is not weakness. Silence is the ultimate form of strength. You want respect? Be silent more often. You want peace? Be silent more often. You want control? Be silent more often. That's the discipline of silence. Now you've built calm through breath. You've built strength through detachment. You've built control through impulse mastery. And now you've armed yourself with the weapon of silence. But there's one more battle waiting for you. A battle that defines your relationships, your peace, your very sense of self. The battle against validation. Because until you stop needing approval, you'll never be truly free. Chapter 10. Stop seeking validation. The need for validation is chains on your soul. It's slavery in disguise. As long as you need people to approve of you, they own you. As long as you crave applause, they control you. As long as you beg for permission, you'll never be free. Validation is poison, and the strongest men refuse to drink it. Think about it. You post something online and you check every 5 minutes. Did they like it? Did they comment? Did they approve? That's not power. That's addiction. You buy something expensive not because you wanted it, but because you wanted others to see it. That's not strength. That's weakness. You change your voice, your style, your choices just to fit in. That's not discipline. That's dependence. Every time you live for their approval, you surrender your control. Repeat this with me. I don't need their permission. I don't need their applause. I don't need their validation. Say it again. Drill it deep. Make it your core, because the moment you stop chasing validation is the moment you start living. Here's the truth. Validation is a bottomless pit. No matter how much you get, it's never enough. 100 likes? You want 1,000. 1,000? You want 10,000. One compliment? You want another. You will never win chasing approval, because the more you chase, the emptier you feel. That's the trap. That's the cage. The only way out is to cut the need, to stop asking, to stop chasing, to stop begging. That's freedom. Understand this. You don't need validation to prove your worth. Your worth is proven by your discipline. Your worth is proven by your actions. Your worth is proven by what you build, not what they think. Applause doesn't pay your bills. Compliments don't build your body. Approval doesn't create your future. Discipline does. Work does. Consistency does. That's the truth. Here's the formula. Approval is external. Confidence is internal. The weak man waits for someone else to clap. The strong man claps for himself. The weak man asks, "Am I enough?" The strong man says, "I am enough." The weak man needs permission. The strong man moves without it. Which one are you? Let's make it practical. Scenario 1. You're at work. You bring an idea to the table. The insecure man looks around, searching for nods, waiting for approval. The disciplined man, he presents with conviction. He doesn't beg for validation. He already believes in himself. Scenario 2. You're in the gym. You're grinding. The insecure man checks if anyone is watching, hoping for validation. The disciplined man, he trains for himself. He doesn't care who sees. His results speak. Scenario 3. You're in relationships. The insecure man bends, changes, twists himself to win approval. The disciplined man, he stays grounded. He knows his value. He doesn't need to beg for love. That's the difference. Now here's the challenge. For the next 7 days, stop fishing for validation. Don't bring up your accomplishments just to hear praise. Don't post for attention. Don't brag for approval. Do the work in silence. Keep the wins to yourself. Build without the need for applause. At first, it will feel empty. At first, your ego will crave the hit. But soon, you'll feel something stronger. Peace, freedom, control. That's the reward of dropping validation. Say this until it burns into your mind. I don't need their permission. I don't need their applause. I don't need their validation. Because the moment you stop needing them, you become untouchable. Look at history. The greatest leaders, the greatest builders, the greatest warriors, none of them waited for approval. They were mocked. They were doubted. They were criticized. But they moved anyway. If they had waited for validation, nothing great would have been built. Nothing great would have been won, so why are you waiting? Why are you asking? Why are you bowing? You don't need their approval. You don't need their applause. You don't need their validation. You need your discipline. You need your mission. You need your own conviction. That's the source of power. So remember this forever. Validation is slavery. Independence is freedom. Validation is weakness. Self-belief is strength. Validation is noise. Discipline is truth. You don't need them. You never did. You never will. You only need your own commitment. Now you've learned every step. You've broken the strings of reaction. You've mastered your breath. You've built detachment. You've conquered impulse. You've stopped wasting energy. You've embraced silence. And now you've destroyed your addiction to validation. This is the end of the chain. This is the top of the mountain. This is freedom. And freedom is control. Because when you stop seeking validation, nothing outside of you can control you. Not their words. Not their looks. Not their opinions. You are whole. You are solid. You are free. That's the power of not reacting. That's the power of control. That's the power of discipline. Listen carefully. Life is a storm of provocations, insults, pressure, unfairness, chaos. And yet, the man who stays calm walks through the storm untouched. You've learned the truth. Reacting is surrendering. Silence is strength. Patience is strategy. Detachment is freedom. Anger is weakness. The fire burns only if you feed it. Your breath is your control. Your calm is your crown. So from this moment forward, refuse to be a puppet. Refuse to take the bait. Refuse to let anyone own your emotions. When the world screams, you stay still. When others lose control, you hold your ground. Because the strongest man is not the loudest. He is the one who does not react. The challenge is clear. Master yourself and you master life. The choice is yours. React and be ruled. Or control yourself and rule everything.